Hey everybody, welcome. Last week we started talking about empowerment, this idea of being seen or given power and authority or stepping into power and authority. And we recognized that language played a big part of empowering. Other people empower us with language and we empower ourselves with language. But the researchers tell us we talk to ourselves 50,000 times a day and 40,000 of that is negative. So last week we said, let's stop believing what we're saying to ourselves. Let's start talking back. Let's pick a word or a phrase that we're using often that needs to be replaced. This week, we want to talk about our inner critic, that inner voice that's trying to protect us. It starts out trying to protect us. That's its purpose. But somehow it morphs into a voice that's telling us in one way or another we don't measure up. So what I want us to do is take a moment and just compare our inner voice to parenting. Let me give you a little illustration of parenting and we'll compare it to our inner critic. So let's say my 3-year-old has run out into the road. What am I going to do as a parent? I'm going to run toward him, right? I'm going to run after him. I'm going to be screaming at him the whole way. I'm going to yank him out of the road. I may take him to his room after that and administer some kind of discipline, whether it is a spanking or a timeout or something else. So I'm doing all of that to protect him, right? I'm trying to keep him alive. I did it all for his own good. But the real communication is, hey, I love you. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to, lose your life. I don't want you to not have fun. I love you. But I didn't deliver that message as a parent, right? I didn't deliver that message. I was just busy keeping him alive. And so my guess is you had that same experience in your own home. Your parents were just keeping you alive. They delivered the angry message, but they didn't deliver the rest of the message. And we do that. That's what our inner critic does. We've trained our inner critic to deliver this angry, kind of yank you back from death message, but not take you through the full message. So a lot of times we're trying to push our inner critic away. We're trying to get rid of all that yuck that it's telling us. But what if we draw it close and get down to the bottom of what it's really trying to say? If we did that with this example that I just gave you with a 3-year-old, the angry message is obviously, I'm mad at you for running out in the street without looking to see if the cars were coming. But what if we go a step farther and say, what's the fear? What's the fear underneath the anger? I'm afraid that you're going to get badly hurt or worse. That's the fear. So what's the request? From that fear, there's a request I want to make. I want you to pay attention when you're playing out close to the street. I want you to stop and look both ways before you run into the street to get your ball. There's a very specific request. And finally, there's a message of love. Man, I love you so much, right? I want you to have a long, full life. I don't know what I would do without you. You're so precious to me. That's the love message. So there's these 4 parts to the message: the anger, the fear, the very specific request, and then the love. We never get that full message from the inner critic. We just get the angry message from the inner critic, right? So what if we start drilling down on what is the whole message? So let's apply it. Let's take a moment here and apply it. So let's assume your inner critic is saying, you don't exercise enough. You're gaining too much weight. You're a fat slob, a real couch potato, however your inner critic does it. You take that angry message and you write it down. I'm angry at you for not taking better care of yourself. You're a lazy slob. All you do is sit around and watch TV, whatever it is. And then dig a little deeper and go, what's the fear message that inner critic is really driving? That's behind that's driving it. Man, if you don't change, I'm afraid you're going to keep gaining weight and face a real health crisis. I'm afraid your cholesterol is going to get so high that you have a heart attack. I'm afraid you're going to end up with diabetes. I'm afraid that you're going to die young and never fulfill your dreams. Whatever the fear is, there's a fear underneath there. And when you get in touch with a fear, then you can move to a request. What's the very specific request? I want you to start drinking 8 glasses of water a day, or I want you to walk 20 minutes for 4 days a week. I want you to cut an hour of your television time out and exercise. I don't know what the request is, but you can see as you drill down, instead of just pushing the angry message away, you take the angry message, you say, what's the fear? Now what's the request? And then make yourself move to the love message. Hey, I love you so much. I want you to be around for a long time. I want you to feel alive and energetic instead of tired and lethargic. Whatever that message is, you deserve to live out your dreams. So you see how that changes your inner critic? We're talking about empowerment and how words can be empowering or disempowering. And if we just stop with the angry message from our inner critic, it's disempowering. But if we drill all the way down to the request and the love message, then it becomes empowering. So that's a great tool for us to start shifting some of this language that's not empowering us and begin to move the message, the language, from disempowering to empowering. I'm Michele Gooch with Life by Design. I know that you want to live your life on purpose with direction. We all want that. You want to be the most authentic version of yourself. But in order to do that, you need to be confident in who you are. And so much of the time, the problem for us is that we don't know who we are anymore. And so we feel like we're not enough. I believe it's wrong for any of us to get stuck there, to feel like we're not enough. And I know that we all deserve to be who we were meant to be. So I've been there. I know what it's like to second guess yourself, to be in a place where you are paralyzed by not believing you're enough. And so that's why I have a proven framework to help you go from this second guessing place to where you really want to be in life. If you're interested in that, you can find me at lifebydesign.guru, lifebydesign.guru. I'll see you next Wednesday at 1.